Hello and welcome to Pitch Please. I am the legendary beard, Mr. Mike Orvis, writer, podcaster, one-time video producer, and drug mule for the Geek Pride Corporation. This is a podcast where every week two gentlemen and Callum meet up and pitch a movie, either together or sometimes against each other. I don't know why I'm taking this kind of slower, jazzier tone, like I'm the compere at a jazz night, but I'm really liking how it sounds, so I'm going to continue. To my left is a really funky cat. He gives a mean, rusty trombone, and you should see his solo work. It's Ben Screaming Wolf Fee.
Little known fact, rusty trombone is a sex manoeuvre.
Thanks, Ben.
Little known, isn't it? Everyone was just like, you just need to polish your trombone a bit, mate, if you're going to come out here.
You need to get that. Have you ever watched those videos on the... We'll introduce you in a minute, Callum. Have you ever watched those videos on the internet where they get a laser and they clean rust off of like rusty metal?
No, that sounds excessive.
It's the most exciting thing. It's so satisfying. You're just watching it and this laser's like... and you're just watching like the rust get fucking destroyed, and then it's just like this chrome underneath. You're like...
Check it out. I had an idea for an amazing website. Please don't steal it, listeners.
And I won't. TM.
It's a porn site. Let me finish.
It's quite a lot of them, mate. I'm going to be honest.
But instead of erotic videos, it's videos of shit like that.
Yeah.
Like someone cleaning the rust off a trombone, or like using one of those power sprays to clear the garden.
There's a subreddit for that.
Or like woodworking. People doing woodworking.
Or those how it's made videos where you see screws being made and it just like tears the metal away and the screws left behind.
But with really sexy titles.
I'm kind of worried about what you wank to now, Ben.
Filthy metal gets blown clean, and you're like, yeah. And then you watch it, and it's like the laser is cleaning a bit of chrome, and then they blow the shards away with a tiny. You know, you can get those office size Henry Hoovers that sit on your desk. You just get one of them and it just sucks it all up.
Like dirty hoe gets blasted and it's just like an actual gardening hoe getting cleaned.
It's like those when people will upload videos to make a political point. There was one of someone uploaded a video of Boris Johnson giving the Brexit speech, and it said dumb blonde fucks 60 million people at once. Anyway, I feel like I've lost the air of mystique that the kind of jazz compare thing I was going for, but I'll centre and we'll come back. Me mo unique New York. Right, okay, I'm ready. I've got this. And to my right is a man who can not only slap at the bass, but he can really take it for a walk along a sunset driveway, along the beach, maybe sit down on a rock and tell the bass that he means it when he says he's never met another bass like this before. He'll then love that bass until the break o' dawn, and then leave it, pantless and wanting for more, as he disappears into the dawn sunrise. To my right is a man with powerful thumbs that can just really stretch whatever is in their way. It's Callum Tyndall, ladies and gentlemen.
You sound like the human speculum.
I mean, I didn't want to bring up your wrestling career, but if you want to talk about it, let's.
All I'm saying is the championship was stolen from me.
What a horrible image.
Now I'm imagining we're going to earn that E in the next 5 minutes. Now I'm imagining a championship belt, but the belt is a golden engraved goatee.
Oh man, I was just imagining like the wrestler's signature move, just getting his opponent and like spreading his anus apart. Speaking of rusty trombones,
just golden hands at the rim.
just like grabbing the buttocks and just like the human speculo.
We're gonna pitch a film now. We're going to pitch a film this week.
Can we not?
Can we just pitch the human specular?
No. We're not going to pitch any more porn parodies. Unless, of course, well, we'll know by now if Geary's clocked onto the secret Patreon. The secret Patreon gag will be a gag until about 6 or 7 episodes in, by which point the actual series will sort of started coming out, and then Geary might have given us, quite frankly, a rightful bollocking, and we'll stop talking about secret Patreon. But we might never finish this series, because if Geary tells us when the first podcast comes out to stop talking about it, there's then going to be another 7 weeks where we're just like, secret Patreon. And there's nothing that there's plenty I could do, but I could edit it out, but I bollocks editing it out?
You could beep out. Doesn't beep out secret Patreon.
Patreon. You can become a handout. But yeah, we'll do an After Dark episode, which, I mean, if this is anything to go by.
Yeah, I mean, how far can we go, really?
Good lord. Anyway, I don't feel like I can introduce something about Star Wars now after 7 minutes of that. Because the mouse has big ears, and what if the mouse hears Star Wars and he's like, ho ho, I feel litigious, and then he pops on here, and we're just like, again, this series might never get made. We'll get sued by the mouse. Oh, Christ. Anyway, we are going to be pitching, Callum and Ben are going to be pitching Star Wars The Old Republic as a movie or TV or book or whatever. And I will pick a winner at the end. Now, fun fact, I've never played the games, and I, by and large, ignored a lot of the extended universe because of one friend at school one time who told me it was all shit and I should avoid it, and I listened to him because I'm an idiot. So I don't know a lot about the extended universe, bar wiki deep dives I'll have every now and then when I'm very, very bored. So this will be interesting. So what I think is going to be really interesting is you're going to have to come at me with this as if I'm some Joe on the street. Maybe I've seen all the Star Wars movies up to date. You all know how deeply I like the canon Star Wars stuff, so you know I've watched the Clone Wars animated series, you know I've watched all of Rebels, you know I've read the comics. But it'd be really interesting seeing how both your pitches come across, and I'll play the part of someone who's seen all the Star Wars movies a couple of times, likes them, but isn't into the deep lore. But of course, if you do make some deep cuts, I understand you will get points for that. Who wants to go first? Jesus, lads, don't fight, all right? Christ, I'll pick.
So awkward.
Callum, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, this will be a 1950s style radio drama.
Amazing.
It's not. Sorry to disappoint.
I'm in. Good lord, he's pulling out his light sword. Put that down, Johnny.
I mean, kind of want to see it as that now, but okay. So mine is called Star Wars: The New Crusade.
Okay.
It's not.
It's a bit Britain first, but we'll let that slide.
Well, you know, there's a good reason.
Oh God.
Kind of.
Super racist.
Okay.
Guest starring Tommy Robinson.
We get a classic title scroll. Tells us the Old Republic's at peace. Following the end of the Great Sith War, which we're not going to explain. I want that to just be in there as a... Like, you know how in the originals when Ben Kenobi mentions the Clone Wars and then that meant nothing to anyone until Episode 2, but it was like, oh, there was a war at some point. Anyway,
Yeah.
The Republic has entered a period of restoration in which both the Republic and the Jedi have been able to build, rebuild, and expand. However, at the edges of the galaxy lie the Mandalorians, an elite and expanding warrior society. They have remained nomadic for many years, but as their leader, Mandalore the Ultimate, is approached by a dark emissary, their ambitions turn to conquest. it would probably have to be longer than that, because I feel like I wrote that down and then I was thinking about it. I feel like most Star Wars opening crawls have a few more paragraphs than that. But basically sets up, currently at peace, Sith have been beaten, Republic's on the rise, but there's these guys called the Mandalorians who, if people remember more than just, Jango getting his head cut off and Boba falling into the Sarlacc pit, that's what they were.
So is this... Sorry, you said they remember more, or are you saying you remember more?
Oh no! So if people listening.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
that's my fault. Because I'm trying to picture when it would be, and I'm like, if you're going to pick the Mandalorians after Jango, then surely you're talking about Sabine and the Rebels.
Republic. Yeah, no. So this is Old Republic. Yeah. So just so people have a reference point. These are the great ancestors of the Jango and Boba.
Is it true that they didn't used to have lightsabers? Sorry, I'm going to ask these sorts of annoying questions from the both of you. They used to not have lightsabers. They had like these swords that vibrated or some shit.
There were vibro blades in the canon.
There's like vibranium blades were like anti-Jedi weapons.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah, the Old Republic's where the double-edged lightsaber first appeared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kinky.
And you also spent an annoying amount of the game without a lightsaber.
Really?
Yeah, I think...
I've got it on Steam. I might give it a go.
I'm pretty sure it's the first one, but there's like a while before you get lightsaber training, for which, a Star Wars game is sitting going, I like what you're doing, but give me the fucking laser sword. Sick of running around with blasters and shit. Anyway, so it opens in a tomb. We see like a typical bad guy looking dude who's like this kind of worm tongue looking guy. He's cloaked up and he's standing next to this giant, massive armoured dude with a huge red cloak, who is Mandalore, the ultimate. The worm tongue looking guy is the emissary. They're in this tomb, and basically Mandalore's come here to both meet with this guy and kind of act as a guide to this tomb. The tomb's not really important in the broad sweep of things, but it's just like, it's a Sith tomb. The Sith recover something from the tomb. It's just kind of why they're there. But what he does is he shows Mandalore, through the Force, a vision of the Mandalorians sweeping the galaxy in a wave of conquest, like completely resurgent. They need to... Up till now, they've basically been nomads. They've got sort of Mandalorian space. They've got, confusingly, their homeworld also called Mandalore, which I'd either have to change the name of the planet or the name of the character, because I feel like if I'm constantly having to refer to both planet and character as Mandalore, that's gonna get confusing.
That's like in Dragon Ball Z, where the Saiyan planet is the planet Vegeta, and Vegeta's dad is King Vegeta. And they take the piss out of it in the abridged. It's like, I'm going to destroy Vegeta, and he's like, me, the planet, or my dad? Yes!
All of the above. Yeah. So I'd possibly just refer to whenever they're back at the homeworld as Mandalorian space, which is technically like a broader region, but anyway. So he returns to Mandalorian space and basically says to, gathers up all the Mandalorian clans, and he says, we're changing the way things are done. From now on, you no longer have to be... They are called the... I'm going to mangle this. It's the Torn, I think, or something, which is like the... Yeah, Torn. Who are this sort of original Mandalorian sort of species, I believe.
Okay.
But basically what he does is he says, from now on you don't have to be like a indigenous Mandalorian. We will take in anyone. As long as you can prove yourself like capable, you can serve. If you're tough enough and you follow the code, you're in. And from now on, we're not just raiding, we're going to conquer. We're taking world. If we take a world, we hold it. And he announces this as this: we are the Neo Crusaders, and his second in command is Cassius Fett, who long ancestor, who has appeared across a couple of things. Like he's basically got this awesome kind of yellow gold Mandalorian armor, and the Mandalorian armor of the Old Republic actually looks quite different at this stage to how it ends up with Boba and
I'm going to really
Jango's.
loudly type and be very annoying, and I'm going to look at it for myself. Sorry.
Like it's got the similar kind of visor shape, but the actual helmet's quite different, and so on. But anyway, so he does this, and we see recruits pouring in and new warships being constructed. And you get a kind of a bit montagey where you see that this army's being raised. You get a bit more of Mandalore, see that he's this big bad leader. You get kind of introduced to Cassius, see his deal. Then the first big sort of set piece is they attack a planet called S03. So you get your sort of see this industrialized planet. You probably get a few shots leading up to it where it's just the citizenry going around. You can tell it's very industrial. It's got all these factories and so on. And then above the planet, the Mandalorians appear and they begin attacking. And this would be a kind of siege kind of piece. So it would actually stretch out. This would probably be the kind of middle of the film is S03. Where, because it lasts 5 days, but it's eventually won when a guy called Canderous Ordo, who actually ends up being... So Mandalore is not only is not only the name of their planet, it's actually a title for, like, the chief of the Mandalorians. So there are multiple Mandalores.
Cool.
The guy leading them in this film is Mandalore the Ultimate. That's how they sort of change it. Canderous Ordo ends up being Mandalore the Preserver, and he's actually he makes an appearance in both Knights of the Old Republic games. In the first one, he's just himself, and in the second one, he's become Mandalore. Anyway, a quick bit of Mandalorians. Anyway, he manages to win the battle for the Mandalorians because the Althea fleet leave a gap, which he managed to get us in, and wipes out, essentially turns the battle to wipe out a force 10 times greater than the kind of amount of dudes he's got with him, because he manages to get to the core. They leave their core ships vulnerable. He gets in, wipes it out. He's heavily promoted, and you see the Mandalorians turn the planet's heavy industry to supporting their war efforts. So this is about, and I think you'd probably then put in a bit more. I don't really know quite what I'd do with them, but I'd use this for sort of more character moments. Kind of, I'd maybe introduce a couple of other Mandalorians who, could maybe come in later on, and you sort of, I don't know how much I want to have it that, the Sith essentially set this up. The Sith showed Mandalore the vision to basically go, they've just lost the Sith War, so they're really weakened, but they go, well, there is this intensely well-trained warrior nation who can fuck up the Republic for us, so let's turn them against. So I'd maybe have a kind of scene back on Korriban or something where you see the Sith observing the Mandalorian efforts. You get a bit more of Mandalorian culture. We maybe see some more notable Mandalorians kind of training or whatever. But then we cut 3 years forward. We see the planet Cathar, and it's this kind of cat people planet basically.
Oh no.
And this is where it gets freaky. No, so what you get here is, unlike Althea, where it's basically a big battle, the Mandalorians are actually making their first attempts. They've not really fought on that scale before. They're fighting a well-trained enemy. Instead, this time it's a complete surprise, and they bombard planetary defences, docks, and relays. This is the first time where we kind of switch perspective a bit. Because up until this point, I want it to be that the Mandalorians are the protagonists, but they're not heroes. It's the entire thing is basically going, these are who we're following, and we're maybe going to see that there is another side to it than the Republic side that we usually see. But you're not meant to think that, yeah, these are great guys. And Cathar is where it proves it, because they basically cut off all communication, all defences, all their escape, and we then have the Mandalorian descent, and we see them slaughter the population.
Yeah.
Like this really hard, cut between different Cathar and the running. You see like people trying to save their families, people trying to fight, and there's these things called basilisk war droids, which are basically just big battle droidy things, sort of rampaging through settlements. And eventually the battle ends, and Cathar calls up to Mandalore to say, Cathar is as.
Mine now, thank you.
Yeah, so we're just gonna finish up. We'll finish up down here, and then we're done. And Cathar orders the survivors, who've all been gathered up, and already the planet. This would probably take a few days, but already the planet's basically wiped out. But he orders all these survivors left, and he orders the Mandalorians to drive them into the ocean. And you have one Mandalorian question his order saying, they're defeated, we don't need to do this. And Cassius basically turns to him and says, this isn't for the Crusade. We've been defied by Cathar before. Never again. And he orders that Mandalorian to join the Cathar. And then you just have this shot where it sort of zooms out, and you see Cassius sort of standing on a sort of overlook, and you've got all this mass of cat people just being herded into the ocean by the Mandalorian army, and then it should stay on them uncomfortably long. It should be a bit sort of Dunkirky almost, where you start to see things going wrong for them, and then it would just stick with it, and it would cut out just a little later than you really want it to, where you just see these people drowning. Maybe you see a couple of shots eventually from Mandalorians who are maybe a bit more mercifully inclined, but it eventually just goes up to Cassius, and you maybe see the kind of reflection of the events below in his eyes as he just in his visor as he just watches them die. And then the final sort of segment is we go to it goes to Coruscant, and it's the Senate, and they're having some sort of medium
sexy party,
just getting their freak on. So they're having a debate. They're talking about taxes or something.
That's not a sexy party at all.
Clearly, you've not
seen.
Who
are those female aliens with the big? I think we did this last time.
Twi'leks.
Yeah. Get a couple of them.
Senators desperately covering up. Go, yes. Sorry.
Get a couple of them, mate.
So they're kind of droning on. They're talking about restoration efforts. But
there are some Twi'leks in the background.
Yeah, just sort of
Can you get a Twi'lek with a side parting? Because then it would be a Skrillex.
Yeah, sure. There's a Skrillex DJing the Senate meeting. They maybe call out a couple of planets from, they maybe mention Yavin. They say a couple
Nerd Bingo. They're just going to be oh, if only where have you been, Senator? No one cares.
Yeah,
I've been on a milk run to Yavin.
It's kind of meaningless prelude to the meat of the scene, but it's got things in there where you go, oh, I heard that, I recognise that.
But at least you never went to Tatooine.
Have you heard of the sand? So basically we see a naval officer come in, and he goes up to the lead, sort of one of the lead senators or whatever, basically says, hands over this report, and the senator goes, gentlemen, I need to report. The Mandalorians have just attacked Cathar. And they go, what's the damage or whatever? And as he goes, these are only preliminary reports, but we are registering that more than 90% of the population is now dead. Oof. The Navy has managed to gather up what few survivors they can, but
you can't really root for the side that's committed genocide.
No, you're not really supposed to. And there's obviously massive outrage. How can we do this? What do we do? We have to. And then, but they sort of settle down and goes, look, first of all, this news doesn't leave the Senate. The Sith Wars are still close to our memory. I think it's been sort of 10, 20 years, but they still, it's a bit too in the public conscious to know, like, there's another war. But then, like, one of the sort of lead ones basically goes, but they basically go that there are still, someone brings up that there are Mandalorian clans on this planet, it's called Duxon, and there's a planet called Taris, which might be vulnerable because it's on a trade route between Mandalore and, like, a Republic planet.
Oh, I love it when Star Wars talks about trade routes.
Yeah. But they basically, one of them goes, look, dude, these are the potential places that we have a problem, and they go, look, we're going to put the Republic Navy guarding these, but they sort of still believe they manage to calm themselves, partially because it's what the Mandalorians have also done, partially because no one really wants to believe that there could be another massive threat so soon after they defeat the last one, and so they basically go, look, this is terrible, it's awful what's happened, it's not a core planet, and the Mandalorians are probably doing what they always do, like, this is hideous, but they're gonna move on. They'll have their fun, they'll sort of sate their bloodlust, and then they'll split apart again. Like, the Mandalorians don't hold territory, they're not coming for the Republic. They've never been a standing army in that way. And then the film sort of, and we get that very smug, and we see Republic Navy sort of moving out with orders to head to these two planets, and then it's sort of, we'd see that as the Senator's voice sort of carries over it, and then as the film sort of closes, we see Mandalorian ships just gathering up, and we get Ordo's voice in voiceover saying, we started by conquering worlds just outside the Republic. Did quietly, so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. And then the film would close out, and then the second film, ideally I'd want this to, I'm only going to do the first one because I don't really know whether, but there'd be like a second film where it's basically all out the Mandalorian wars, where it's the Mandalorians basically spend years building up and raiding, and goes right, and essentially it is like that Republic kind of complacency which we see seemingly in every single Star Wars film, where because they're the good guys, they can't believe that the bad guys are really gonna come after them, and that they could miss something, and basically they miss the fact that Mandalore has become convinced that this is the time for the Mandalorians to step up and sort of stake their claim on the galaxy. And then the trilogy would close out with Revan, who's from the games, was a big part of sort of leading the Jedi faction that kind of came together and helped turn the tide against the Mandalorians.
Oh, I'm involved.
And it's all going to be brutal as fuck, and like, I want every film to be going, why are we following these guys? But it's got to be like, no, they've got to be really cool and interesting to follow. You got to have, I don't know, maybe I'd want like Viggo Mortensen or something to play one of them.
Okay.
It's just got to be, you got to be really convinced that you want to see more of them, even while they're undoubtedly.
So spoilers, Revan becomes Darth Revan, right?
Yeah.
Or has he always been Darth Revan?
No, so he starts out as a Jedi.
Right, with the purple lightsaber.
Yeah, where's he gone? He is...
Where's he gone? I don't know. He's behind you right now.
Ah, fuck!
Because I'm looking at... Every time I look at Darth Revan, I'm like, Darth Revan's cool as shit. But I didn't know he was originally helping out the Jedi. Has he got... Is that like a Mandalorian helmet that he's like stolen? Is that like the top dog's Mandalorian helmet?
I can't actually remember if he takes Mandalore or something, because Mandalore's mask goes missing for a while. It looks Mandalorian. Because then deal with like Revan's legacy and stuff throughout the.
According to Inverse.com, there's a Last Jedi Easter egg that says that Darth Revan could be canon.
That's cool.
It's a throwaway prop. We're just going to read some news now. That was a good pitch. Thank you, Callum. A throwaway prop featured in The Last Jedi implied that the infamous Darth Revan might again be part of the official Star Wars canon. As if the Lucas story film has anything to do about it, then the door is wide open for someone to make it official with a new Star Wars story in the future, set thousands of years before, blah, 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 blah. One of the more interesting items in Luke's hut on Act 2 is the recovered Jedi Crusader pendant that Hidalgo calls a captured trophy, adding, "It's just an interesting prop to suggest that Luke's been out in the galaxy collecting clues and doing research, the history of Jedi." I must have missed this, but yeah, it might be a pendant that belonged to Darth Revan. So that's a thing. He also looks boss as fuck. Yeah, we like Darth Revan.
Yeah, because in the first one you play like Amnesiac Revan.
Okay. I might play these games. I think I bought them when there was a massive Star Wars sale, and I just sort of forgot about it and didn't do anything.
They're really good. My memories of them are kind of muddled into which bits I remember from which game.
Yeah.
Like, I think I remember 2 slightly better because 2's got Kriya, I think is how you pronounce it, like this creepy old.
So
lady.
is it? I mean, this is great movie chat, but is it a massive multiplayer online?
No. So there's Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2: The Sith Lords, and then there's Star Wars: The Old Republic, which is the MMO.
Right. Okay, that's why I was getting confused.
Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2 are so the first one was made by BioWare, who's obviously
This is me
Dragon
aggressively
Age
opening Steam to find out whether I've got
and
the
then
game.
the second one was made by Obsidian, who did Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And they're both sort of set around. They're both set a while so like the kind of the events I was describing in my film, they're sort of set a bit after that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Obsidian are BioWare. I think BioWare fell apart and part of it turned to Obsidian.
BioWare are still making shit.
Are they still making shit? Who am I thinking of? I think of someone else.
I don't know, mate.
Don't know. Don't fucking know. Might have been Interplay.
I'm not
Black Isle.
I'm not a games journalist anymore.
Of course.
They were made by Black Isle ex-employees.
Yes, because they did the original Fallout.
Black Isle and that little boy's smile. Black Isle with his... No, I can't remember the lyrics to Black Velvet.
Shit, they made Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, man. This is some fucking pedigree right here.
Yeah, which would make sense why they got on to number 2.
Right, let's have a look at my library. So it's very exciting.
I think I might prefer number 2 to number 1. But that might be because I remember it better.
No, so I've got none of those games. I've got Star Wars Dark Forces...
Yeah.
Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Something, Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy.
I might
have Knights of the Old Republic.
As much as I know, like Dark Forces and all of those are like the classic ones, Jedi Academy is one of my favourite games of all time.
Oh really?
It's so you make your own Padawan.
Yeah.
And then you go to the academy where you are trained by Luke and Kyle Katarn. And you get to go on missions all across the galaxy. It's like you go to Coruscant, you like go to Tatooine, you can fight Boba Fett in one of the missions on like the Tatooine. I can't remember if it's Tatooine or if it's another desert planet. But, like you have to deal with these giant sandworm things. You can you do the classic sort of Star Wars RPG thing of choosing light side or dark side powers. You get to choose if you want like a single lightsaber, 2 dual lightsabers, double-handed. Choose fighting styles.
Oh, cool. Well, I've just added it to my wish list because it's £7 and I need to eat, so I'm not going to do it. Well, I don't need to. If you looked at the size of me. Anyway, genuinely that was cool. I've just got very distracted, which is good. I got distracted by the lore and was like, oh,
it's very
cool.
distracting because even when I was putting it together, I was be honest, it was like so much was going. I know the bits I want to get into. But even just stripping those down, you're going, ooh, but what's that?
I think that's why on top of a friend who, well, he's not a friend anymore, but I fucking talk to him, but on top of a guy kind of saying the extended universe is shit, and then I talk to guys who are super into it, like yourself, and they go, yeah, Luke had a kid, and then this happened, and then they turned to the dark side, and then he had a girlfriend, and then this happened, and I'm like, what? It's like trying to get caught up with soaps.
It's why I engage with it in very specific ways. Like, I know the game.
Yeah.
I'm reasonably confident with the games. I've never really read. I've been intrigued by the books, and I know bits from across them.
Yeah.
But I've never actually because there's even people who really know it and say, like, okay, these are the core series within the extended universe books.
There's various canons, isn't there? There's like T canon, C canon.
I don't have time to see them carve a giant tree of Chewie's face. Because he gets killed by a moon.
Does he?
A moon falls on him.
Brilliant. Okay. Anyway,
Ben,
right.
Sorry.
It's time to pay the fee. Let's do it. I'm excited.
You're damn right. Well, I'm glad that you like deep cuts and
deep cuts.
Because I'm not going to include any of that shit.
Shocking. Ben's going to go for middle of the road. Everyone's happy.
How?
Maybe some fucking Jim Henson puppets will show up.
Wow. You know what? I don't know what I'm going to go for because I haven't actually done a pitch for this. I'm just going to fucking wing it.
Ben, you've had so long to work on a pitch.
I've had so much time for this. So let me talk about the Old Republic.
Let me talk about my day. It started off with some milk.
The Old Republic. For me, I've been a fan-ish for a long time. I love the concept of it.
This isn't helping you gain points. It's interesting, but it's not.
I'm not too much into the details. The first I found out about it was through this unofficial extended universe manual, which had like all the different characters from all the books and all the games and all the films. And it had people like Nomi Sunrider and Ulik Keldroma. And I was like, who the fuck are these guys? So I started reading their backstories, and it was really interesting. It was this Old Republic universe, which is set 3,500 years before any of the Star Wars movies. It's intentionally designed to be completely free of any of the old storylines or mythologies. Anything. It has Jedis and it has Sith. Jedis. The plural of Jedis is Jedi, isn't it? Sorry. Mm-hmm. It had none of that old mythology. Jedi and Sith, and anything else was up for grabs. There was nothing holding it back. No prior shit it was taking on. No baggage at all. Which is what I loved about it. Even in the computer games, there's no prior knowledge required. In Knights of the Republic 2, it's actually set 300 years after the first one. So there's literally zero knowledge that you need. They're all contained, self-contained, which is what I would like my pitch to be. Entirely self-contained, not linking to any other franchise or any other part of the Star Wars universe. It's all going to be completely just fresh stuff. The main thing I think you need in Star Wars is a war. And makes sense, really. And stars. The second thing you need is stars. And we've seen a lot of different sides of war in Star Wars. You've seen the kid who is on the far, far fringes of it, who sort of is dragged in there by his heritage. You've seen the soldiers in Rogue One, which I think is one of the most interesting Star Wars films. In Rogue One, the soldiers who are sent on a suicide mission. We haven't really seen in Star Wars non-combatants, people who have no part in the war at all, yet their lives are significantly affected by it, catastrophically, in some senses.
I mean, you're about to in my film, Ben, when 90% of the planet dies.
Yeah, but you're not following the people on the planet who've died. You're following the Marauders, the Mandalorian. They're sort of the focus.
Them excruciating detail as they have to walk into the ocean.
Yeah. You're following them for like 10 minutes as you see them all murdered. And this is going to be a TV show set over multiple seasons, and it's going to follow a family. It's going to follow a family whose lives have been devastated by war.
You might have heard of them. They're called the Skywalkers.
There won't be a single Skywalker in
I
this
like the idea that
fucking
like
film.
the normal folks in Star Wars have like really normal names, like Christy Daniels and fucking like Tom Snart, and then they're walking around and it's like they're all in school, and like little blonde haired kid sits down. And it's like, okay, we've got Mike Sandals. Okay, you present? Yeah. Okay. Nicola Sanchez, you're here. Excellent. Nikki Scarsbrick. Yeah, you're here as well. Excellent. Luke Skywalker.
All
Really?
right. Who's messing around?
All right. And he just tentatively puts up his hand. And as he does that, the chalk starts flying through the air, and it's basically a Matilda. Oh my god! What if we just did Luke's early years, but it's basically the film Matilda? Well, we might as well go home.
Nice one, Ben.
Finish up early today, boys. We've created the ultimate pitch. Sorry, I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry.
An absolute bastard.
I'm sorry. I love you. Please continue with your pitch. I'll be a good boy and shut up.
Now all I can think about is Luke Skywalker, or like being thrown around by his pigtails. Okay, so going back to grim and dark and fucking awful
it's
shit.
family. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
This family on a planet. It's going to be like it's going to have. Is that Matilda in the background? Jesus Christ!
Child running past my window.
Oh right.
Shut that up for now. The window, not the child.
This is probably a segue. It definitely is a segue. Did you hear the theory that Matilda is about the second coming of Jesus Christ?
What?
And that Matilda is actually the second coming of Jesus?
Amazing.
Right?
I'm so down.
She's super clever.
We need a sequel. She's not
got-
bad looking now. The actress who played Matilda.
No, she actually.
We should do a sequel where it's set in like modern day, and she gets like. We only need to tweak it a little bit so that America's gone full Salem, and they just fucking burn her for being a witch.
What the fuck?
I reckon she'd be down for that. She could get onto her agent. Matilda
I'll give her a
2,
ring.
the crucifixion.
Matilda 2, Purge.
Jesus. Anyway, so this fucking Star Wars pitch that I'm pulling out my arse here, this is going to be very. It's got similar overtones to This War of Mine. You ever played that game?
Oh yeah.
People are going from house to house, scavenging supplies, trying to help each other out, being wary of their neighbour. Are they an informant for the government, or for one of the major parties that are fighting each other? It's going to be paranoid. It's going to be bleak. So there's this family, and they enjoyed a life of luxury before the war, and they don't actually know much about what's happening or why they're fighting. All they know is that one day their planet was attacked by one of the sides. Their government had been supporting the Jedi, and so the Sith attacked them. Sith, Jedi, they just fight. The Jedi, the Republic, alongside them, they muster planets to fight on their side. The Sith do the same, they muster planets as well. And then those combined armies just fight, and that is the truth of the universe, and always has been and always will be in this galaxy. In this galaxy of the Star Wars. So the planet is under siege. Both sides of, for now anyway, have decided that this is going to be the battleground they fight over. And so whole cities are wastelands, and this family are trying to survive there. There's going to be a father figure who's going to be very outspoken, have very strong views against the Jedi. He doesn't like them at all. Now, from this level, from where we're sort of looking at, he has a lot of reason to. The government, the Republic government beforehand, they weren't particularly benevolent. The people were poor. They were shafted. The government was corrupt. It happens. This is going to portray a universe where there's no good and evil. Good and evil is a luxury that can be held by those in power. The Jedi consider themselves good.
That's going in the trailer.
The Sith, people think the Sith are evil because they oppose the Jedi who consider to be good. So this man, he's like your uncle who talks about Putin and says what a good job he's doing. It's that kind of guy. He's a fucking alt-right. This guy, he's making excuses for them. He's saying how the fake news media have been destroying them in the press. He's a proper gammon.
The planet is being dictated over by Jabba the Trump.
Jabba the Trump.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh God, of his hair. Just an orange turd. Anyway, yeah. So,
La puta la banza de fake news.
So there's no good and evil. There are politicians, and there are wars that are fought. So this family, there's the father figure who's this kind of blustery kind of man, and there's his wife, who is a very good soul. So I'm just going to say up momentarily. There's his wife who's a very good soul, very caring. Her focus is entirely the kids, the 5 children that they have together. And she will do anything for them. She doesn't particularly love her husband anymore. It's been a very long time, and he's become a lot more radical in his older age. But obviously she stays there because of the kids. When the war happens, she really doubles down on that. She will do anything to protect her kids, and we see that very early on, that she will do anything to protect the kids. She will kill looters. She will, to earn money, she'll do things that are maybe a bit questionable.
Oh God!
It's all about the children.
Bad.
This is going to be an R-rated Star Wars film.
HBO is going to be all over this.
Does she?
Well, that's my target audience, to be honest.
Does she perform illegal space jazz at the illegal space speakeasies? Is that what you're talking about?
Is that what they call it these days?
Now, the man doesn't want to hear this song. It's Baker Street. She plays Baker Street for him. It's not even jazz. It's just the one saxophone thing that I know.
Just in the middle, that's the right. We've written the end credits there. So the whole bit is about the fact that she's got this fucking saxophone that we just attach a couple of UV lights to and some glow sticks, and it's like, oh, space saxophone, and she keeps trying to get it out, and they're like, fucking no, you know that jazz is banned on this planet, and then they you just get to the
when
climax.
they escape,
everyone's dead. There's this building being exploded, and she just walks into the middle of the war-ravaged land, like in between the crossfire and the bombs going off, and she's like, her hair's blown in the breeze. There's fucking explosions going off.
The camera's panning around her in a circle.
And that's how
nailed
we,
it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's how we finish it.
The first episode is going to be about this family escaping from the war-torn planet they're on. They find an uncle of the kids, so the dad's brother. Finds
I'm aware of what an uncle is, Ben. You didn't have to explain that.
Well, I'd say whose uncle. It's not the dad's uncle, not the mum's uncle. It's the children's uncle. Comes to him and says, I've got passage on this cargo ship that's leaving soon. We need to get on it. We need to leave this place. There's no food. There's no water. The power's hardly ever on. We need to get out of here. So the first episode's going to be them getting from their house, being obviously convincing the dad to leave, convincing the kids to leave, and then getting onto this cargo ship. And on this episode, we're going to meet the kids, these 5 kids. There's going to be the eldest, who completely disagrees with her father and wants to join the Republic and fight. She wants to fight against the Sith, but obviously he completely rejects it. There's the second 2 are twins, and they just like to mess around and play. They're not particularly political. They've got a few little grifts going on, selling meds for food. They'd like to do a bit of exploring, finding out strange little places that have been damaged by the bomb blasts. Then there's the 4th child, who's very studious and very curious about things. This is the child whose science knowledge has helped them to build a small still, to get fresh water from the rain, that kind of thing. And then there's the youngest, who's just a playful, happy little child. They're all going to be...
is Savage Opress.
She becomes Yoda.
You fucking love a bit of Savage Opress.
They're all like over 13. They're all in their teenage years. Because fuck having kids running around, man. Having to wait for them to... I'm watching them go through puberty. Like season 1, they're like, oh my god. And season 7, they're like, hey man, what's going on? So, nah. From a casting point of view, logistically, I think
it's quite interesting that the only dad in the group has gone, fuck watching kids grow up, man. Imagine he's like, whenever you're babysitting, you just sidle up to your newly born and just poke it. Like, come on, fucking do something.
Come on, man.
Christ, you're boring. And it just sicks up on itself, and you're like,
that's more like
sake.
It. That's more. Now we're talking.
That's what I'm talking about.
Woo! You are wasted, mate. You're mental.
You having a beer with a boy? Your wife comes home after a business trip and it's just you surrounded by Stella and your drunk baby. You're like, I'm just having a beer with my boy. Ain't nothing fucking wrong with that. Don't be giving me none of your fucking back talk, right? He wanted a drink in the first place. You should see him sick up in the toilet. It was fucking epic. Get me a kebab. And then the baby's first word is like a football chant, like a full football chant. We love to drink with Benny because Benny is our mate. And you're like, yeah, it's my boy. Anyway, Star Wars.
I don't know what I was up to now. Okay.
Is there any recovery from that?
So okay, let me give you the short pitch then on this.
Come on!
Just to sort of skip out any more shit. Fuck's sake. Okay, so essentially, it's going to be a show about this family, about how they deal with the realities of war. Something that we don't really see in Star Wars is how it affects real people.
Yeah.
They get on this cargo ship, they manage to become refugees escaping, and the father insists that they go to a Sith-occupied world. He insists that these are the good guys, they'll be welcome there, and that's how they should do it. So they get to this Sith-occupied world, and of course, as soon as they get there, the overlords enslave the family. They say, you're all going to work in the mines. The father kicks off, and he's summarily killed by the Sith guards. Much to the, I mean, I don't want to paint him as too much of a terrible person. Obviously, he loves his kids and he helps them out. There's going to be a lot of warm moments before that between them, but it's because of his strong views about the Jedi that they end up on this Sith world, and they are very surprised when their dad gets shot. This triggers in the youngest child a cataclysmic Force awakening.
Oh.
In which the child pretty much just ruptures the entire station where they're being held, Akira style. Fucking just like people are crushed against walls, and we see the Force being used in an extremely bloody way, which we haven't before. It's going to be extremely graphic.
Nice.
And then the rest of that series is going to be these 5 children and their mum Oh no! The mum gets captured and enslaved. These 5 children on their own on a Sith-run planet, trying to escape from their captors. In a nutshell, they managed to escape the Sith world after various adventures, where we really get to find out about the depravity of the Sith. We don't actually see any of the Force users at this point, just the guards and the controllers. Maybe they make a lifelong enemy there. One of the maybe the man who's been sent out to capture them. Once the Sith realise that the girl's a Force user, they send out a high-ranking officer to go and find her, and this man is going to be a threat, a pursuing threat across the galaxy, trying to chase them down. So they'd escape from this Sith world and get themselves to a Republic world, thinking, oh, these are our saviours in the Republic world. As soon as they find out the girl's a Force user, they take her away. They say, well, she'll be taken away, and she'll be brought to the Jedi Temple to be taught how to be a Jedi. You 4, there's nothing for you here, there's no jobs, so they become homeless living on the street. Man, that's pretty dark.
Yeah.
And it's at that point that they decide to rescue their sister from the Jedi Temple.
Nice.
So this it becomes the second series then becomes more of a heist movie. So series 1 ends with the young girl getting taken by the Republic. Season 2 will be them trying to rescue her from the temple, and it'll just be a crawl through just the depravities of war, what it makes people do to one another, and the realities of being a human being in the Star Wars universe.
It's quite Benicio del Toro's character from Last Jedi.
Shut your mouth. Shut your goddamn mouth. Fuck's sake. He was such an awful character. Such a horrible waste of space, that guy.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, I could not stand him.
What are you talking about?
I thought he was...
built your entire show off his philosophy.
How dare you, son? How dare you? If you were here right now, I would be pointing my finger in your face.
No good guys, no bad guys.
Oh, what is the accent?
That was awful. I went for it, and I immediately was like, I can't. As soon as I start talking, I can't think what Benicio del Toro sounds like.
Do you know what's really funny? When my dog yawns, his jaw does the same thing that Benicio del Toro's character is like the. I can't do it, but yeah, it always makes me giggle when his jaw goes. I'm like, ha.
I think because he was such a caricature, I couldn't take him seriously. He took me right out of the action.
I think that's the problem with. Someone wrote this on Twitter about the new Solo movie, which won't be new by the time this fucking episode comes out. But he said that like you can't have famous people in Star Wars movies because it takes it out of the experience.
Maybe. I mean,
because they said that Woody Harrelson is like really distracting in the new Solo film. I think it's Woody
distracting
Harrelson.
Seeing people win, because if you think about like all the, I mean, I guess Harrison Ford was kind of notable when he was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Had he not done like Fugitive and stuff?
Harrison Ford was a nobody. He was a carpenter.
He'd done American Graffiti, and that's it.
Yeah, but like he was basically unknown.
I thought he'd had a couple more of his.
No, not at all. No, he was just working on fucking sets. And
but I mean,
George Lucas looked at him and went,
then, like the main characters in Star Wars tend to have been like
nobodies.
Yeah, like John
for want of a better
Boyega's
expression, like that's
was...
not to diminish any of the actors and actresses that involved.
No.
I mean, Natalie Portman was pretty. Well, no, she wasn't actually, because she wasn't like when it started. Yeah, thinking about it, no, it wasn't. But no, I like Benicio del Toro's character. Right. Anyway, I realise that we're probably going to end up going a little bit over time. So I really liked Callum's pitch. Darth Revan gets my dick hard. And knowing almost fuck all about him, just the sight of him, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I'm all about, for those of you that have ever listened to me talk about Star Wars at length for any amount of time, you know that I fucking love the idea of there actually being balance in the Force and there being the Force users that use both sides of the Force because there needs to be balance and blah 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 blah. The whole fucking thing's about repetition and balance.
Right.
I was ready to, like, quite honestly, because you started your pitch just being like, oh well, I haven't really thought about it, but this is you, Ben. This is you. No, but like you started off by going, I haven't really thought about it, and I was like, okay, like all right, let's listen to it. But I actually really like that idea. I don't think the fucking House of Mouse would ever go for it. But then Netflix got to do that shit with Marvel when Disney owned Marvel, so maybe
they're also not likely if they're not going for that, they're definitely not going for prolonged genocide scenes.
Yeah, well, that was I was going to come back. I was going to come back to that. Like I really love the there's a Marvel comic run called I think it's called Marvels, and it basically is about everyday folks living their lives while all this crazy shit's going on. Folks are like, oh, my car got fucking destroyed when Rhino attacked, and then it's like it wasn't covered in insurance. They called it an act of God. It's like I can literally point to the man who did the damage to my car. But yeah, like it's just shit like that, and I always like those kinds of. I like dark and gritty, and it's an interesting take on Star Wars. It's what I liked about Rogue One. I liked a lot about Rogue One. I fucking hated the actress who played Jada, whatever. I've only watched it twice. I can't remember her fucking name, but she was just so dry and wooden and boring, and it really pulled focus for me for most of the movie. What's her name? Felicity, whatever.
Jones.
Yeah. Just like I'm sure she was trying her best, but she certainly looked like she couldn't give a fuck and didn't want to be there, and it just really just had this sour look on her face most of the time. I was like, you could have had a bit of personality. Like, this is the first female-led Star Wars movie. And
let's not let this girl ruin my pitch. Let's just separate
hang
her
on,
from.
whoa, son! I'm just
trying to
put
put Felicity Jones in here and ruining your
but yeah, I can't go with Callum's. Like, we can't have the protagonist of a movie, regardless of whether they're an anti-hero or not, be people who committed genocide.
He's like
I can't,
the second in command.
It doesn't matter. It's fucking madness.
They get their comeuppance.
So by a Wamper's hair, Star Wars reference. I'm gonna pick Ben for this one.
Ooh, how's that feel, Tyndall? How's that feel, man?
Sir. Well done. I think is that the first Star Wars pitch you've won? Or
that
the
is
second?
Here's the fucking thing. The last two Star Wars pitches, I fucking wrote pages and pages of stuff down for. This one, I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to wing it. And check it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happened with the Power Rangers pitch, and I forever am sad
quite
about
annoyed
Power
I
Rangers
actually did
pitch.
write shit down for this.
Callum, I think the problem was it kind of just followed from me kind of wikiing it. It's the same problem you had with My Enemy Mine, even though I changed a lot about Enemy Mine. And you're just wrong. But it was a bit too prescriptive to the game, and I get that, but you had license to do whatever the fuck you wanted, and it kind of stuck to it a little bit too much.
Yeah, I did when I was going through it. I was thinking like. I did pretty much just tell the story, the prelude of the Mandalorian Wars.
I think when we do, we can keep this bit or not. We can decide later. But I think our pitches work best when we go a little bit outside of the box and don't do what people think we're going to do. I think that's when they become more. Certainly, from my ears, and when I'm judging you guys, I'm certainly a lot more interested when someone goes, "I'm going to try this," and I'm going to go, "What? That's mad."
You mean like my Pac-Man pitch, where it was set on a mining planet and everyone hated it?
That's because it was shocking.
You're shocking, so.
Yeah, I am in bed. No, wait. Fuck. That doesn't mean what I thought it meant. Right. Anyway, so Ben wins. So it's been one to me for Star Wars. Then we kind of drew because we both just sort of picked. It was just me and you, and we did the Ben Kenobi movie.
What was the first Star Wars one we did?
Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, and I didn't do any genocide. But then
what
in the second one,
is I actually should have made both battles a genocide.
More genocide.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, just
Well, I
pour on a
whipped
big
out
old
a little.
bucket of genocide, and you'd have won it, mate.
I was actually,
what
when
a
I was going
shame.
through it, I was like, does this need to be cut? Because it's really, really fucking dark. I was like,
Yes,
that's
yes,
why it
yes,
should
did.
be in there.
There's
It needs
ways,
to
no,
be
but there's ways to make things dark and not commit
No,
mass
but when I was just
genocide.
looking, I was going, this is like the bleakest fucking like final set piece. I'm doing it. I want
Yeah.
this to be. No, you have to watch as like this dude who you're going, oh, it's cool. He's like the great granddad of Boba or whatever. And it's like, yeah, watch what that means.
I was kind of hoping that at the end he would like sort of like lean over his fourth enemy and go, "I'm going to take my time."
Oh God! Never
Somehow
gonna
that
live
appears
it
in every
down.
film
Never
or
gonna
script.
forget that you tried to put a rape in a Power Rangers movie. Right, I'm now gonna roll the dice. The dice is landed on 17. Let's find out what that is. Oh God, really? Hawkman film or TV series?
What?
Sure, I'll give it a go.
Oh, baby.
I'll pitch it, I guess.
You seemed fairly happy, Callum. Do you want to do it as well?
I think Callum suggested it was
Oh,
one
hold
of
on.
his suggestions.
Isn't the next one going to be a gang pitch?
Oh yeah, of course, it's a group pitch.
I think
Yeah,
that's just my
yeah,
idea.
yeah. You're absolutely right.
I prefer gang pitch.
No, it's a group. Yeah, it's a group pitch. My bad.
Don't ever call it a
Absolutely.
gang
Fucking bad
pitch
host.
again.
Slap on the wrist. So next week we are going to pitch a Hawkman film or TV series. Excellent. That's good times. Well, that's that. That's been Pitch Please. Hope you enjoyed listening. If you have any opinions, you can get in touch with us on Twitter. I'm at @the_dark_Mike. Callum is at Callum Tyndall. Or you can hit up Geek Pride at GeekPride1. Or you can, if you're feeling old school, you can send us an email at content@geek-pride.co.uk. Make sure you mark it for Pitch Please so that we can siphon through all of the death threats that Geary has had since everyone found out just how much money he has. Maybe there'll be a secret Patreon by now. Who knows? Maybe we'll start a Facebook group. Who knows? These are things that podcasts do. Maybe we should do them. Maybe that will get some interaction. Who knows? It's a crazy world out there. Anyway, I've been Mike Orvis. He's been Ben Fee.
It's true.
He's been Callum Tyndall.
Indubitably.
And now this is Pod Racing.